No. What's it doing?
Hi, I'm Tash.
And I'm Katie.
Today we are going to be doing a little bit of mindfulness. We're going to explain a little bit about what it is, how you can use it, and we're going to have a little practice at the end as well.
The reason we've chosen to do a mindfulness session is because with current circumstances, with coronavirus, I think naturally people's anxieties, worries, stresses are heightened, and mindfulness is a really good way of helping people to manage that anxiety and some of those worries in current climate. So we hope that these sessions will be helpful and might allow you to maybe introduce something you haven't tried before. It's linked a lot to Buddhism. It's considered one of the 7 factors of enlightenment within Buddhism, but Jon Kabat-Zinn brought it to therapeutic interventions, and it's something that's been used a lot over the years. So a really good quote that he uses to define mindfulness is, mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So it's a really good quote that captures the idea of mindfulness and how it can be introduced into day-to-day life.
So mindfulness can help in lots of different ways, but being more aware of the things around us and the ways that we are feeling can help us to appreciate our sort of day-to-day lives that maybe on a normal day we would not notice or we wouldn't pay attention to. So, you know, everyday things like walking down the street and listening to those birds, isn't it?
Yeah, and even just sitting here now, if you really pay attention, you can pick up on things that you would not ordinarily hear just outside, isn't it? Noises around you that you usually tune out, that you're not aware of or paying attention to. So yeah, appreciating those little things. Another thing it can help with is in helping to increase our understanding of our thoughts, feelings and emotions, so giving us a better understanding of maybe why we feel a certain way. So rather than just feeling anxious, looking at what sensations in the body are we experiencing when we feel anxious, how is that anxiety manifesting itself, and then that gives us some cues to pick up on when it comes to recognising the signs of anxiety before it becomes a problem.
And like Katie was saying earlier, you know, it can help you to sort of let go of those maybe negative feelings and thoughts around a situation that isn't necessarily within your control. So taking time to pay attention to the things that we would normally not notice in our day-to-day life, which is what we were saying earlier. So for example, when you go for a walk, taking time to really notice what's going on around you, notice your surroundings, rather than just focusing on getting from A to B and where you're going or what you've got to do when you get there. Taking a bit of enjoyment out of that walk and taking in all those things around you. So think about what you can hear maybe, what you can see, the colours, what you can feel even. You know, one of my favourite things is going for a walk in the autumn and feeling the crunch of, you know, brown leaves on the floor. It's really lovely.
It's one of the best feelings.
And it's a great sound as well.
Yeah.
So hearing that is just so relaxing.
Yeah. I quite like going for a walk on the beach as well and feeling my sand feeling the sand between my toes. I think that's quite a nice one as well, because sometimes we're so focused on getting from A to B that we don't take the time to appreciate and to notice those little things that actually bring so much enjoyment. Okay, so another good one to do is to step out of automatic pilot. So there's a lot of things that we do day to day that we do automatically, that we don't really think about, we don't put any thought into it, it's just a habitual behaviour that we do. So by introducing a bit of a pause button, we can break that automatic pilot cycle and we can maybe reduce the risk of us behaving impulsively. And I think that's a really good one that can help, especially if you're trying to abstain from alcohol or substances. You might find yourself in situations where you might respond automatically in a way that you're used to responding, but by introducing that pause button and allowing yourself to think and weigh up your options, you're more likely to engage in a behaviour that you want to, rather than behaving in that impulsive, automatic way. So mindfulness allows you to increase your awareness in that situation and introduce that pause button to allow you to think.
Another really good way of sort of practicing mindfulness in your day-to-day life is using some visualization techniques as well. So this one is used a lot with urge surfing, isn't it? Where you visualize a wave and seeing that urge sort of pass by you. But another visualization technique that you can use is watching leaves on a stream and sort of visualizing the leaves as maybe those thoughts or negative thoughts that are attached to a situation, and seeing those pass by, especially like we were saying, in those situations where maybe you can't control what's going on and you've just sort of got to accept that that's happening. Sometimes being able to visualize that stream and those leaves passing by is really helpful.
And then there's some other mindfulness exercises that people might overlook or might not think that they're mindfulness techniques. But things like day-to-day activities that you can introduce, things like colouring. Colouring is a really good mindfulness activity to do. Mindfulness requires your full attention, and because of its repetitive nature, when you're colouring, it's hard for your mind to think about other things because it requires your concentration. So things like colouring, yoga is another good one for feeling mindful. It really connects you with your body and what's going on around you. And mindfulness walks, so like we talked about already, there's nothing better than getting outside in nature, going for a nice long walk and noticing some of those things that maybe you didn't notice before. Some of the things then are practical things like muscle relaxation techniques. So clenching your fists and feeling the sensation, that tension that you feel, bringing your awareness to that. Maybe even just sitting here now, noticing the pressure where your body connects with the seat. That's mindfulness, that's increasing your awareness of that. And even then simple things like sitting on a bench and people watching, so just sitting there watching the world go by around you, watching people come and go, that's really grounding you in the here and now and what's going on around you, and can be a really good one to do that doesn't require much effort. Just that 5 minutes peace and quiet to watch what's going on around you can be really good in the middle of a busy day, can't it?
Yeah. And like Katie was saying, it's really about living in the here and now, in the present moment, isn't it? And trying not to focus on past or future events or what could happen and catastrophize it. It's about focusing on all of your attention on what's happening in this moment and getting something from that, something positive from it.
And because I think it can be really difficult to be in the here and now because we're so busy thinking about what we're doing tomorrow or what needs to be done next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Or a lot of us are stuck in the past, and a lot of us are stuck in things that we should have done or things that we wish we could have done differently, and we get stuck there then, don't we? So being able to just be present, focused in the here and now, just instantly makes you feel a bit calmer, because we can only control what's going on right now, can't we? Which is good.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little practice of a really brief meditation that you can sort of use whenever you feel it's needed, isn't it? It's really quick, doesn't take too much focus, so you can sort of incorporate it into your daily life quite easily. If you've got the time aside, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the kind of meditation where once you've done it once, you can do it unguided. Okay, so Tash is going to be my guinea pig for this meditation. So this is a nice brief meditation that takes a couple of minutes to do, but it's a really nice one. So if you get yourselves comfortable, if you want to do it along with us, just find somewhere comfortable, somewhere you can sit comfortably for the next sort of 3-4 minutes. Okay. So now just allowing your eyes to close gently. And taking a few moments to get in touch with the movement of your breath. So just focusing on the in breath and the out breath. And now bringing your attention to the physical sensations in your body. actually the sensations of touch or pressure where your body makes contact with the chair. And with each out breath, just allowing yourself to let go, to sink a little deeper into the chair. Now bringing your awareness to the breath, noticing the air as it enters your nostrils, noticing the in-breath and the out-breath, and how that feels in your chest and your abdomen. If you find your mind wandering, just bring it back to the awareness of your breathing. So just using the breath as the anchor to bring you back to the here and now. Just continue to focus on your breathing for the next few minutes. Not trying to change anything or to feel different, just to notice and to be aware of your breathing. Slowly and gently, when you are ready, allow your eyes to open, and while remaining conscious of your breathing, bring your awareness back to the room and the people around you. How was that for you?
Lovely.
Do you feel really relaxed?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that we should have mentioned before is the mind wandering is quite a normal process. I don't know how you felt. Did you find that your mind was wandering then?
Yeah, like every now and then I'd be thinking, oh my god, should I open my eyes yet? What's next?
Yeah.
Or like, oh, the seagulls.
Yeah.
But I think that as well is just part of the process,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. And that in itself is being mindful, that acknowledgement of maybe the fact that, oh, my mind is wandering, acknowledging it and then letting that go and bringing yourself back to the breathing. And the more you practice mindfulness, the less the mind will wander. So you find that if you incorporated this into your day-to-day life and it's something you did every day, you would find that you were more able to focus on the meditation without the mind wandering. So it comes with practice. So if you're new to mindfulness, don't be put off. When I first started doing it, my mind used to wander all the time. I'd be thinking, oh, I need to do that, and then I think, right, no, back to the breathing. So yeah, and you'll have good days and bad days. Some days you might do meditations and be able to focus completely. Other days you might find there's a lot on your mind and the mind wanders. So it's just that acknowledging the thought, bring it back to the breathing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it gets better as time goes on.
Yeah. So if you're not very sort of confident with doing, mindfulness on your own or at home without sort of being guided, then there are lots of guided meditations out there that you can access really easily on different apps. So we've got a couple that we know and are good, isn't it? So YouTube is a really good one for guided meditations. You can just search for meditations. They've got loads of different lengths and types of meditations that you can try. But then there's also some good apps that you can download. So there's Headspace, which is a really popular one. But there's also Calm. There's one called Thought Diary. There's one called Aura. And then My Life Meditation. So all of these apps have guided meditations on them, I think, don't they? Yeah. Which you can access pretty much anywhere, so it's quite good if you're out and about as well, and maybe you feel that you need to take that moment to be mindful, to be in the present moment. You can go onto the app then and use the guided ones.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed. Have you just gone blank?